Hey, what's up? How y'all doing, y'all? Y'all like the background? I had to change it. I had to change it because we are interviewing someone today, and they will be here momentarily. They're still getting ready, so we're just going to just talk. All right. Let's get into. I'm going to do a topic, and then when she come in, we're going to just jump right on into the interview because she's still preparing. Okay, she does work. All right, so we got to give people time to get ready. No problem, because we're going to always find something to talk about. How you guys doing? Thank y'all for joining. All right. We will be interviewing Sweet Tea, as you guys can see. Sweet Tea from Married to Medicine. We're going to be talking to her and getting some clarification on some things and getting to ask some questions. You guys may get to ask some questions as well. Thank y'all for being here. Okay, let's get into it. There is one topic that I do want to kind of touch on before she comes on. This is let me go ahead and share right quick. We're just going to do like maybe a topic, okay, while she's coming on. And when she come on, we're going to jump right on in, okay? You guys know about the massive fires, all right, out in New Jersey. We got to get into that, honey, because that is definitely a must talk about. My goodness, we just had this issue in California, the wildfires, okay? And now here we are with this massive wildfire here in New Jersey. So it says massive wildfire breaks out in New Jersey where thousands are forced to evacuate. Now, they just went through this in California. We just talked about it. So it says that we usually hear about wildfires tearing through California, but now New Jersey is feeling the same heat. I'm hoping that somebody didn't set this because that's kind of what they were saying for the one in California. All right, so they said a similar situation hit the West Coast not long ago, but this time the flames are crawling across the east. Now, the Jones Road wildfire erupted Tuesday morning and already torched 11,500 acres. Now, this says it is not just land that lives disrupted and fast. It says that as of Wednesday, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Commissioner Sean LaTorrent confirmed that the fire is only 30% contained. All right. So far, just around 3,000 people have been told to pack it up and go. And nearly 1,320 homes and buildings stand in the danger zone, facing unpredictable sparks and ash blowing wild in the wind. Let's go ahead and listen to this right quick.
In a major firefight, trying to contain an increasingly dangerous and out of control wildfire.
I feel the heat on my face.
The flames burning near several roads in the area. Thick black smoke billowing from Ocean County, New Jersey. The state's Forest Fire Service deploying air tankers and helicopters over a large wildlife management area to help fight the flames from above.
The south flank is really picking up,
while issuing both voluntary and mandatory evacuations.
Your family can't even get to you because they can't get here.
3,000 people told to evacuate in Ocean and Lacey townships, with flames threatening some 1,300 plus structures. At this point, more than 25,000 people in the area still don't have electricity after officials turned off the power to keep fire crews safe.
Oh my God, this place is going to be torched.
Look at that.
Southern New Jersey in a major
crazy. This is like deja vu, right? We just saw this months ago in LA. People are still recovering in LA, and here we are now in New Jersey. I have family in New Jersey, Sicklerville to be exact. Okay, my God, I hope everybody is fine. I need to make some phone calls here. I've been trying to prepare for this interview and everything else. Thank y'all for being here. I see y'all saying, hey, CR, what's up? But thank y'all for being here. So that is what's going on in New Jersey, okay? That is what's going on in New Jersey. Let's stop sharing. My goodness, dude. We have anybody in my chat from New Jersey? Anyone from New Jersey that's dealing with this issue with the fires? This is sad. I hope it's not going to be as bad as the situation in LA, because damn, people still are displaced. People's homes are burned to the ground. I can't imagine that happening. So I'm praying that no one just went out here, like I said earlier, and just set the fires, because that's a lot. I mean, damn, it's about to be summertime. People ready to start traveling and living their lives and doing things. And now people having to evacuate. It costs money to evacuate. We talked about this before. If you are somewhere in a place where they're telling you got to get the hell up out of their child, it costs money. And not everybody can evacuate. If you don't have the means to do so, then you just stuck like Chuck. You have to figure out what you're going to do. And I'm pretty sure in that area, a lot of hotels are starting to be packed if they're having to move out of where they're staying. So prayers to the people in New Jersey. Prayers to the people in New Jersey. Y'all ready for this interview? We're still waiting for Sweet Tea to come over. It's almost at the 6 o'clock mark. You guys can put in the chat questions that you would like for me to ask her as well. I put together some great questions of some things that I think people would want to know answers to. So if you guys have some burning questions that you would like to ask as well, y'all can put it in there and we will ask, okay, and see if she's comfortable enough to answer said questions. I did kind of have a briefing with her earlier. Okay, and she is here. Yeah. Okay, let's get it. All right, welcome to the stage, you guys. You guys know who she is if you watch Married to Medicine. None other than Dr. G's wife, honey, Miss Miss Sweet Tea Lunsford. Let's get her up here, okay? Add her to the stage. What's up, ma'am?
What's up?
Hi.
I'm into the light is right on my face.
I see you, girl. You lit up over there. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for inviting me. I apologize for my tardiness.
It's okay because I know you work, girl. I work too, so I get it. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so we have our people in the chat. We have 86 watching right now. We're going to go ahead and jump on in, okay? All right, so while we're here, again, welcome to the panel. I'm Karen Mariah. You know who I am. We've talked before and you've interviewed with me. This is your second time. So
Yes.
Let's jump in. Let's get into some questions. And we're going to also have people in the chat put in a few questions in and we're going to kind of throw them in too. If you feel comfortable answering, then you can. All right, we ain't going to bombard. All right, let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, just for those who don't watch the show.
Well, of course, I've been on Married to Medicine, but before I was Mrs. Lunsford, I was just Letitia Mayo. And my background is I'm from Texas. I grew up in a suburban area, it was kind of small town. I would visit my grandparents on the weekends and also during the summers in the country. But I feel like I built a name for myself. I grew up in Texas, went to UNT. My background, I was a pharmacy tech in the Air Force. And then I ended up going on a few assignments in San Antonio. And then I ended up moving to DC. I worked for the intelligence field. And now I am a government employee. So that's me outside the show.
Yes, come on, girl, with the credentials. I love it. Okay, because a lot of people seem to think, oh, this is just somebody who hopped up in Dr. G's DMs, child, and tried to get on and wanted to be a kept wife, but you came up in here with your own, thing going on, and that's what I like about it. Okay, you just not some DM jumping, chick to try.
Right? Yeah, they would like to portray me that way. I think that the hard thing is about being on the show. They want to portray you a certain way, because it's just it's built to get the audience's attention, and so I think that they had like this character made up in their mind of who I was going to be. I tell them a little bit about myself, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to focus on these things versus focus on the things of like who she really is."
Right. So you and Dr. G just celebrated an anniversary.
Yes, we did.
Congratulations. Okay. Yes. 2 years, right? Did I get it right? 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. Yes.
Yes, I'm happy for you guys. I remember when you guys put your post up where you guys were doing your engagement pictures and you said, "Hey guys, we're engaged." And I remember seeing it because I've been following Dr. G. So I was like, "Who is this girl? Hold on. Who is this girl all over Dr. G? Is she pretty too?" No homo. She's pretty too. And I was like, you know what? I am really happy that he is moving on. Because that's what it takes sometimes. You know what they say, in order to get over somebody, is get under somebody's child. But
look, I ain't heard about that, but
that's what they say, honey. In order to get over somebody, you got to get under them, honey. So yeah. So I'm feeling that. So I'm happy that you guys are moving forward and you guys are happy out here, regardless to the rumors, child. Because people are out here with rumors that you guys are getting divorced. I'm like, they just celebrated.
I know. I actually saw that. I saw that a couple of times, and I'm like, where is this coming from? I saw that, and it's crazy. Like, people have their own narratives, and people start their own YouTube channels and say that we're getting divorced. But I'm like, I don't even know where that came from. Like, I don't know where they start that, but I'm starting to get used to it. I think that people are trying to like tear us down and, want our marriage to fail so badly. And so I'm learning, even as a newlywed, I think that me and him, we've gone through so much, especially being on reality TV, being
Mhm.
exposed to the public. Like it don't even feel like it's been 2 years. It actually seems longer because we've been exposed and we have to face so many obstacles together.
Mhm.
And so it feels like hell. It feels like 10 years to me. So it's
But
like,
the great thing is he's already been on TV, so he can kind of prep you for the things that you kind of have to look out for being in this
yes.
situation. So that's a good thing. All right. Now let me ask
Yeah.
you this: how do you feel about the naysayers coming for you, saying that you just kind of trapped Dr. G, that whole situation? How do you feel about that? By hopping in the DMs and telling him you're gonna have a baby by him, and as Kawhi saying you didn't keep your promise, child.
Yeah, she's so worried about being inside my womb, child. I don't
The
know.
womb,
Being in my womb and then what's going on in my vaginal walls.
child.
But I don't really like, honestly. The naysayers, it's just naysayers. I just think that like people are going to paint whatever narrative they have their mind fixated on, whatever it is they want to believe, and it's just like just because I slid in Gregory's DMs did not mean that I'm like was trying to trap him, and that was like the only reason why he got with me, because of the sole like purpose of like having a baby. Like I just think it's
Mhm.
very ridiculous because like we really did love each other. Like we loved each other back then. I
Mhm.
slid in his DMs and that was just an attention getter. Like, so what? Like, there's a lot of people that meet on social media. And so
Right.
just because I went on and slid in his DMs, that was just an attention getter to say, hey, I'm available. And a lot of women are starting to actually do that. Like, after that, me and Gregory met up and he led the way. He led the way. He did really nice things for me. We met up, hung out, and we really hit it off. And we just kept it as friends for a while. We even took a break for 6 months for a while because he wanted to make sure like this is something that he really wanted to do. I was a lot younger, and he didn't want to feel like he was wasting my time because he was older, and he I think that he felt a little guilty because he kept saying like, what if I'm not able to do things with you guys, like as far as if we were to have kids together. And so
Mhm.
I was just always trying to make him feel comfortable and say like, like you got one life to live. I think Gregory, he looks great. He works out. He keeps up with himself. And I'm like, you got one life to live. Like
Mhm.
if we love each other, we love each other. I
There
mean,
you go.
my grandparents had an age gap. I have a lot of friends that are already in age gap relationships and marriages and it works for them. And so I was like, we just got to worry about us. And so we took that 6 month break and later on realized, you know what, this is right for us.
There you
Yeah.
go. This is 2025. A lot of women now are shooting their shot when it comes to men, or if they're interested in somebody, they don't really wait for the guy to be like, "Hey, girl, what's your phone number?" So they kind of jump in and kind of do their own thing. So I feel it. I mean, I'm not the type to
Yeah.
do it, but people are
Yeah,
doing
I think that you have to use your resources now because, like, I think after that whole thing with Kevin Samuels during that time, like, some men just lost their minds. Like, they
it.
really just, it all went to their head. And so I still value, like, gentlemen, men with like old school values because that's the way I was raised. And
Mm,
so when I met Gregory, of course, Gregory had his own and he was very successful. And
mm,
that still mattered to me, even when I dated younger. But I just felt like, I'm a mature woman. At the time I was doing well for myself. I was working for the government. I've been in the military. I just felt like, what, I probably need to be with someone older because when I was dating, there was no one that was really like s- being serious, or they weren't really operating at a level that where I was.
right.
And I just was like, you know what, an older man is what I felt like that fit me the most.
And that's fine. I love it. I love you guys. I'm just saying, I'm a fan of you guys. I love it. So tell us something. Tell the viewers something about you and Dr. G that we probably wouldn't know. Something positive
um
that we would be
we're
like, oh my God, really?
I'm trying to think. Well, I think you guys know that we're both twins.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're very affectionate and we like to be up under each other. Like
I
we
see
like
that
to.
because I follow y'all.
Yeah, and I think it has something to do with because we're twins and we've been so close with each other, siblings in the womb, and I think that we're so close with each other because that's what we're used to. I'm trying to think of something that is different. Well, Gregory played baseball. He played baseball in college, and I wrestled in high school. Like I was a wrestler.
Ooh, they better watch it on the show, girl. I don't know. Heavenly. Okay, go ahead.
I could take a girl down.
I believe it. I believe it. When I saw you run across that beach, I said, "Bitch is on."
Oh, it was on and popping. Cause I'll get ready to go upside somebody's
Oh
head.
my God. Yes. Okay. Okay. I can get with that. I can get with that. I can see you doing that too now that you mentioned it. Okay, so on the show, and I know we don't want to keep talking about Quad, but this is kind of like on the show. Quad came for you, okay, at the reunion. Now let me just say this: I didn't like it. I did not like that. I did not like the remark, and she was real like with the face with it, honey. Said that do you? Let me ask you: do you still feel that Quad has some unresolved feelings for Dr. G?
I think so, a little bit, yes. And also I think that she does that to stay relevant on the show because she didn't really have nothing else. She's not really willing to tell her own life, so she has to hang on to the past, whether it's good or bad. Like I think that she just was using, the using the moment. I think that she wanted to use Gregory, but I think that there may be some feelings there, possibly. Especially if you need a tie to medicine and you don't no longer have that. I think that maybe she may actually miss that piece. I don't personally, and also Gregory's a provider. I'm pretty sure you get into where you're at and you realize that you don't have no one helping to pay them bills. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people think the grass is green on the other side, and it's not always green on the other side. Like, of course you have your ups and downs within a marriage, but at the same time, like, I'm thankful for having a partner that can provide, help pay them bills.
Boom, there you
Like,
go. Now, you guys still having issues with her? Because I remember the last time that we talked, you were talking about she was still like reaching out and asking for like certain favors that she used to get when she and Dr. G was still together. You guys still having that issue?
oh no, not anymore. I just know when that happened when we were right. That was right when we were dating. So that happened when we were dating. But no, I think she know better not to contact him.
Okay.
She know better.
Okay, now I don't want to see in the headlock over there now. I don't want to see no headlocks now. All right, so are there any updates on the baby news for you guys? What's the process with that now? Where you guys at with that now? You and Dr. G, because I know he
So
mentioned
yes,
there was like a little deadline coming up, and it's
yes.
too for the people that don't understand it because there were mixed.
Oh, I know. Let me just say this. Everybody, I see some people just so ignorant, and they say that like everybody found out I had endometriosis on the show, and so that's one of the things that we filmed. That's one of the first things I filmed even before we got married. And so Gregory's a doctor. Gregory's very aware of my medical conditions because I'm very open, and so a lot of people may have thought like Heavenly and all that, she spread misinformation about my condition as if I couldn't have kids, but they never said that I couldn't have kids. It was just more so you may have a tougher time trying to have kids. And so but with all the stress from the show and all of those things, like it plays a factor of getting pregnant. You can have trouble getting pregnant with all that extra stress. And so, and then nor have we had really the time with me working and Gregory working, the practice, him working at the hospital, like we barely had the time and doing the show. And so, I'm just right now, like we've finally getting to a point where things are starting to just slow down for us and where we can pay more attention into our goals together. And so I did the IUI a couple of months ago. That was back in like October when I was doing that. I did October and November. That's the intrauterine insemination. And so I did that and I had 2 failed attempts, but the chances are 18% that it'll actually work. It's kind of low. And so but they said the more you do it, because I have like the VA, since I'm a veteran, the VA pays for it. And so they said the more you do it, the higher your chances are of getting pregnant. And so I did it twice, but I'm kind of like, let me just, because I was like trying to figure out what I want to do. I was like, I really want to just go straight for the IVF because I hate going through the process and then finding out that you're not pregnant. Like that could still be stressful, you know. And so and especially taking all them damn vitamins and everybody's saying, oh, drink this tea and take this vitamin and take this, and it's like I done did so many old remedies and old wives' tales that people have told me to do. But now I feel like we are finally in a place where we can really slow down. And so I'm supposed to be starting the IVF, I believe, by next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
good luck to you guys
Hmm.
on that. Now, let me ask you this: if the IVF situation does not work, is there an alternative to maybe surrogacy? Have you thought about that, or do you want to
Um,
carry yourself?
I prefer to carry myself because, like, honestly, I know a lot of people ask me about the surrogacy thing, but I haven't really given myself a chance to actually carry a baby. And so I think that I can do it. I think that it'll be fine now that, things are slowing down. I think that things are going to be a lot better for me to get pregnant, and we're going to have a lot more time. So people have asked me if my sister would be the one to carry. And I said, I
Lord,
don't
wouldn't
know if
that
I
be
can deal with
something?
that because I don't know if
She
I can
just had a baby, right?
internalize.
Didn't
Yeah,
she
my
just
sister
have a
had a
baby?
baby. Yes. She had a little girl.
And wouldn't that
And
be something if she got pregnant and had twins?
oh my
For the
God.
surrogacy. Oh
That
my
would be crazy. Like that would be a crazy story, but my sister, she ain't trying to do all that. I mean, she would if she had to. She would carry for me, but she's getting ready to move to South Africa, and so like I'm like, okay, well,
God. Is she
I'm gonna
military
figure.
too?
She was military. She was Air Force as well, and her husband was Army. But now they are they starting to make their own moves, and they're getting out of the United States, doing the black exit, and they're going to South Africa to live their lives. They said, their money can go a lot further, and they can be there on a retirement visa. So she's moving there.
Hey, that's dope. All right. All right.
Yes.
So I see you guys have your episode for the new show podcast coming up. I saw. What is it called? Coming. What is it? Dr. E and
Oh, Dr. ENT.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, I've been doing this segment. Dr. E. Isosa is her name. She's actually Simon Gubadia's cousin, and so yes, so I met her through Toya and a while back ago when I did the first season. So we pretty much hit it off, and we just decided to do some positive things. And I was like, well, let's, because I feel like on the show we don't really do a lot of medicine. Like it's not a lot going on there. So I was like, why not educate some of the people that watch the show, or some of the fans that I have. Why not educate the people and help people know more about what's going on in the medical field, and put some resources out. Like, we had the lady, she was a nurse, two ladies that were nurse practitioners. And so they offer a lot of different services. So I was like, why not let's get together and start putting out the information for people to have. Because, you never know. Before I didn't even know what nurse practitioners did stuff with weight loss and all that kind of
Mm.
stuff. So now I'm learning as I go, so I was like, we're just going to be having fun, interviewing some people and just putting some information out. And I'm just going to be a bystander, someone that's learning new information and just, putting it out to the public and using my platform.
Great. And what about the Sweet and Savory collection? What's that?
So yes, the Sweet and Savory Collective. I have the YouTube segment that I'm doing. Sweet is me, Sweet Tea is the play off of my name, and then
Mhm.
Savory is something that is wholesome. And also when you think of savory, you think of something like well seasoned salt and pepper, and that's what they say with these like older guys, and that they're
Mm.
well seasoned. They've
Mm.
been here for a while. They know a little something. So
Right.
I came up with the Sweet and Savory Collective, and so I created this Facebook group, and my Facebook group is a relationship support group for those that are either interested in age gap relationships, or that people that are already in, to give advice, or want to share their story. And so I started this Facebook group, and then also I'm getting ready to start doing some speed dating in Atlanta, because there's a lot of young women that are interested in older men, and even vice versa. You have younger men that's interested in older women. Like when I talked to Phaedra, she liked younger men. So I was like, Phaedra, this is perfect for you, girl.
She's a good. That's good. So you're getting on out there. You're getting on out there. So, okay. So this is your second season on Married to Medicine. And
Yes.
obviously we can see that you're a little bit more comfortable this season than the first season that you were on. Um, Let me ask you this. Explain to me, because I know Heavenly said that she initially asked you to be on the show, correct?
She did.
Do you feel like that was a setup in terms of getting Quad on the show and then to ice you out?
I think I think initially, I knew it was somewhat of a setup, like in a way, but the way she framed it was more so positive in a way, like look at it like this: you help another black woman out, like she was talking cash money about her, about Quad. She definitely was, but I just said that I wasn't going to get involved. Of course they explained the benefits of being on the show, and I looked into that because it's like, you build a name for yourself, you can sell whatever products, whatever it is that you want to
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the chance to do it. And so I looked at it out of that lens, but I told myself I'm not going to get involved with that mess. Whatever they have going on with Quad, that's on them. And so when I got on the show, I really didn't really see Quad at all. I didn't have to film with her until she came to the it was the bridal shower, that they did. And
Right.
so that's the time I seen her, and then I seen her on the girls trip, and then they let her go. And
Mm.
so and then the last time was at the Met Gala, is that's when Gregory finally they was around, and she came to that. And so like
And
I
ask for the
started.
infamous hug.
Correct. Right, but we never really had to film with her like that. Not often, not really. And so I just started to learn once I got on the show, like, okay, I see that there's an issue between the cast and her.
Right.
And I started seeing more things because I didn't know what the hell was going on, because honestly I didn't watch the show enough to know what issues they had. And
Mm.
so I don't know in the previous season if they had issues with her or not, but I just realized while we were filming, like, okay, so y'all not filming with her. Because when
Mm.
Phaedra brought her to the bridal shower,
Mm.
she to the bachelorette party, they act like they were mad with Phaedra, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, Phaedra, after the funeral home scene, it was like, well, Phaedra, if you keep on, we not gonna film with you either. And so
Mm.
Phaedra did not want to bring her to the girls trip. She was just like pretty much done because she's like, I'm trying to save my little coin. So like, because they was threatening not to film with Phaedra.
But
And
that
so
turned out to be a disaster too, though. Coming to the girls' trip, because that's when everything
it did
kind of
because
went public.
Phaedra didn't invite her. Phaedra didn't invite her. And so Phaedra changed her flight from what I heard, because Phaedra was like, I don't know, but nobody invited her, but the production did. So because
Mm.
everybody was like, well, who invited her? So but
Yeah.
production did. And so but the production invited her and then let her go the first day.
So let
So
me ask you this: do you think that Quad and King should be on Married to Medicine? Being that Quad is no longer married to Medicine, okay, that was something that she used to be married to Dr. G. Do you feel that Quad and King should be on Married to Medicine? Because I feel like this season it became a mess. I feel like it's more so of a competition a little bit in terms of her trying to get attention, maybe,
yeah.
and kind of throwing things out there and kind of
Yeah.
stirring up, which drama is of course needed on a reality show. But do you feel
Right.
like she's kind of doing a little too much in that regard?
Yeah.
How you feel about it? Let me know.
Definitely, yes. I think that she's doing a lot much in that regard. I think that I think that you know with that whole situation, like they have nothing to do with medicine. They don't do anything in medicine.
Mm,
I work in public health, so
mm,
it's just like I didn't really understand like why were the men so welcoming to this guy when he had nothing to do with medicine. Nobody even knew him, and actually I found out his background check had wasn't even went through yet. So it was a lot
thank
going on.
God after what we found out with that darn Rolls Royce.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess eventually they had cleared him because he showed up at the reunion. So I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about that. But honestly, if you look at it, if you want to see the Prince and the Frog, then okay, sign up for see the Prince and the Frog or the Prince of Thieves, because I'm like, I don't understand. I
Is
quite
that
don't know.
some
Like,
shade?
it is no, I mean it is, but it's the truth, because it's like it's the truth. I mean, I and even at the reunion, like I like Toya was all like, "You lying and this and that, and you have no proof." The proof is already out there, and I knew the proof was gonna be out there. Like the proof, like it's like I don't have to lie about anything. And I was like, I got a top secret clearance. What the hell I got to lie for? Why? What? I
Mm,
mean, what do I gain? Like I don't have to lie about anything. Everything that I say is the truth, and
come
it's
on.
just like. And then
I
I just think that they were kept trying to like cover up their fakeness, and it's like everybody saw through the bullshit at the reunion.
mm. Yeah, I saw it too. Now, let's speak on this issue about this damn police report. All right. The police report that was filed by Dr. G. Can y'all speak on that now?
Yeah. Okay, so yes, there never was a police report filed.
Okay.
For one, okay, he did consult after that whole situation. He definitely did consult with the police, but he never did file anything. He contemplated on it, but he never did file, and that was made very clear to the production. And
Mm,
so all this other stuff, like Gregory, he don't even really talk to the production like that because he's not a full cast member. So
right.
like, all this stuff talking about Gregory asked for extra security. He ain't talked to them people. He ain't talked to it. Only people that the production was in contact with me. It was just me. They wasn't even in contact with him because he's not a full cast member. He don't have the pool to do that.
Mm, okay.
So, but he never did. So it's just like they just kind of dragged that out longer than what it should be, and then like they separated us because for one, I mean that whole situation was just crazy because I'm like I had just talked to the dude right before we got on the beach and said, "Hey, we don't have a dog in this fight. We're not going to get involved in the
Mm,
mess." And Gregory, all he did was defend himself and defend me in that night when she was mouthing off. And
mm.
so it was just like, you know, now all of a sudden I see you running towards my husband because he said, your girl can't just say stuff without him defending himself. Like, where they do that at?
That was a lot. That was a lot. And I feel like King initiated that situation by walking up and in his tone, like you don't walk up to another man and tell him what he's going to do and not do. If
He
Quad is
don't.
talking slick and running her mouth, I feel like Dr. G could absolutely answer to that and say something to her if she's being disrespectful. Like, why do he need to speak to King if Quad is popping off? That's what I didn't understand.
Yeah, that's the piece I didn't understand either. Like we really was mind our own damn business, and then it was just constant mess talking. And I'm like, well, who the hell is going to be trying to big day man up, but then mention their ex around them? Like that shit weird. It's like who do
Yeah,
that? Who
it
do
was
that?
a lot.
Like
And then from
it
Quad
was.
to the whole, oh, I'm going to plan your baby shower. Like,
Yeah, it was just a bunch of fakeness. Like, girl, I don't even know you. It's like I don't even know you, and nor would I ever let you around my child.
that's a lot.
I would never allow you to be around my child, and I don't think the state will allow you to be around other children either.
All right, so Heavenly, of course, she has her YouTube channel and she's very vocal on her YouTube channel. I don't like the way she kind of talk about the cast and knowing that she has to work with you guys. It kind of make it a little difficult and a little eerie when you guys have to be on set together, knowing that she said things on social media and then you guys to see you guys on the show. Now, she did make a post recently asking the viewers of Married to Medicine, do you guys feel that Sweet Tea and Dr. G should be on next season? Why is it that Heavenly feels that she has all this pull in terms of who is on the show and who is not?
I just think that like she's been on the show for so long, and I think that the producers big her head up. Like they let her get away with murder. Like even when we talk, it's just like, well, that's just Heavenly. That's just how she is. And I'm like, okay, and this is how I am. Like they're like, oh, you were sweet last season, and you were so forgiving. Okay, so people can only be so forgiving for so much, like for so long. So it's just like you. I think that the production has blown up her head to a point where she feels like she calling the shots, but she's not. Like she's not, because the decision is really up to Bravo. And so
Mm-hmm.
hey, she can. And I think that also she does that for attention. I just think that she just does a lot for attention on YouTube because like I said, she do something strange for super chat change. That's just what she do.
Cause she do be spilling stuff like on the show. I be like, is she supposed to be telling this? Like she be doing a lot.
She be doing a lot. She be
Like, is she
doing a
supposed to
lot.
be telling us about the show yet? Because
So I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I just been told, oh, she's been talked to and all that kind of stuff. But like what's really going on? But I don't know. I just try to stay out of it, stay in my lane and do my job.
Okay. Now, rumors are, and I know you may not know, or you may not want to speak on it. We're gonna address it anyway. Rumors are that Quad is expecting. Okay, rumors around everywhere is that Quad is already expecting. Do you feel that she is trying to upstage you?
Definitely.
Because at one point she didn't even want to have kids.
Yeah, I just think that it's just, I think that she's just doing that to trying to upstage me, but you can't, you can play follow the leader, but you can never be the leader. You can be the
Ooh.
caboose, but you can't be the leader.
Okay. See, I want to see this two at the reunion because I said when I was watching the reunion, I was like, oh, I want Sweet Tea to come in and slay like that. Everybody everybody watching, we were like, girl, like I did not like the way they were coming at you. I feel like you were getting teamed up on for real. I kept
Oh
saying,
yeah, they were.
tap
They
me
were.
in, coach, tap me in, coach. That's what I kept saying to myself. Tap me in, coach. I want to
They
get in there
were. They
and
were.
hunt
They
you down.
were. They were
Yeah.
not, but they definitely were trying to tag team and gang up on
Oh
me.
my
That
God.
was very clear, very
Something
clear.
with
But
Toya, I was like, this done jumped on Toya now. Toya is doing them all.
yeah, like she ain't got shit else going on. She dumb as hell. I just think that she ain't got shit else going on. I think that she was at towards y'all didn't get to see it, but towards the end of the season, she kept trying to pick at me, and I'm like, we really ain't got no issue. So what the fuck is it? Like, what is the problem? Like,
Like,
you if
you
you
gonna move in
really
your 86th house already.
right, like you saying, and then all of a sudden, you trying to throw shade because I'm living in the house with my husband that he shared at one point with Quad. Like you throwing shade, but you living in a rental home. Like you been, you've been living in rental homes. Like you living in other people's homes. Like do you not
Every
understand that?
season she's in a new home. Like seriously, every season.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
it's just
God.
like. It was just a bunch of ignorance that I was dealing with. Like I was just like felt like I was in the twilight zone, like just stupid insults and just ignorant people just around me. I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and get my check because
Mm,
I had did some Reiki, and this lady was telling me like try to be calm in your demeanor because she was like in order for you to get pregnant and stuff like that she was like you gotta just chill. She was like
mm,
start acting like a mother, pretend like you're already in that position, be a mother. And
mhm.
so during that time I was like, you know what, let me get into that. Let me channel that, and so I'll just calm down because did I want to go off? Yes.
I'm a
That was
mother, but I would snap on someone as well. Okay, you still gotta have that confidence as a mother. You do, you really do. All right,
that's true.
you really do. Sometimes you gotta check somebody and be like, okay, I'm a mother, but I'm okay. You still gotta have that.
Right.
Because people will try you when they feel like you're trying to be on the calm down and not go there. And I've been seeing that a lot this season. Now let's get into another rumor. Is it true that Mariah Hook is coming back next season, or can you speak on that?
I can't speak on that. Like I haven't heard anything yet. I actually did text her, but she didn't bring none of that up to me because I was like, okay,
There's rumors that she's gonna be making some appearances for next season because you guys will get ready to start filming again in May. In May, right?
that's what I heard. May.
Okay.
I would hope so. I would hope that she would come back and kind of
You and
like
Mariah good?
You said what?
You and Mariah good?
Yeah, we're good. I think it would be nice for her to reset everything because I just
Mhm.
feel like the show has kind of got off track,
Right.
to what because I've talked to her and I think that it's gotten off track for what she envisioned it to be a while back ago. And so I think that the show is focused a lot more on just drama. It's not even like family fun anymore. It's just,
Mm.
it's just ratchet.
Well, she is the only one that can get heavenly together. I tell you that. So if she does come back, it's definitely gonna be
Yeah.
some changes in that area, baby. Because I will never forget the episode where she told him, "I can tell you who Damon been with." I was like, "Yes, honey." I would never.
Yeah, she is really funny. She's really fun to be
I
around.
like Mariah. Mariah is one of my favorites as well. Simone, I like Simone. You and Simone get along good, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah,
Y'all
we
hang
like
out
Simone.
outside of work, right?
Yeah, we did. We did. We hung out before the show, but I will say Simone didn't have anything to do with me getting on the show. I think that she did offer some advice and it was like left it up to me, but she never was one like encouraging me to get on the show. That was more so Jackie and Heavenly.
Okay. So what's
Mhm.
the deal with you and Jackie? Because I
I
saw that little
don't.
exchange at a reunion. I didn't like how she was like, you did that. I was like,
Yeah, I don't know what yeah, she had pissed me off. Then she had pissed me off then because I'm like, first of all, where is this coming from? Is it that you sat there on the couch and they had nothing to say the
she
whole
really
season,
didn't
and
talk
now
to
all
us
of
at
us,
the
and so
reunion.
yeah, she didn't. So I'm like, and now all of a sudden, now you want a moment, and then from what I've seen, from what I saw, you didn't even say much to Simone. Like it wasn't like you had much to say.
But they
So
say on the show that Toya and Dr. Jackie are the only two that really give the least on the show. Like seriously, this season, I really can't tell you what Toya's storyline was or Jackie's. They were just there.
I couldn't tell you
I
either.
really can't tell you.
I couldn't. But at least like my first year in the 10th season, I felt like they tried to. I kind of knew what was going on a little bit with some people. They tried to tie it in, but like this season, it was just like I felt like everything was so focused on just drama with me and Gregory, and then with his ex situation. So
Mm,
it's just like I it was just I was literally sitting in scenes at times. I'm like, okay, so this what we doing? This
right.
what we doing? Like, okay.
Now let's address this scene because a lot of people had a lot to say about this, so we got to talk about it. What is your feelings of people saying that Dr. G has been a little disrespectful in tone and how he speaks to you on the show? Are you there?
I'm
Uh-oh.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
my somebody was calling me.
Okay, no problem. All right, so the scene where you had to go upstairs when Dr. G got upset, you guys were talking at the table on this season here.
Yes.
He went upstairs and you had to tell him be quiet. Production kept it rolling. Can you kind of explain that scene and how you feel about what people have to say in terms of him being disrespectful in tone and how he speaks to you?
So I would say that, Gregory does have to work on that. And he is working on that. But at the same time, like, people don't really understand like the stuff that he was going through off camera, which the show is
Mhm,
not about the men. And
mhm,
so like there's a lot that he was going through. I think that he was just really upset at the fact that one, he was attacked. And not only that, like a couple months prior, he was attacked by a patient and he had to go to the hospital. So he was really having a moment. I felt like PTSD, because I was just telling him like, I get it that you're upset. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
I'm trying to handle things off camera, but I don't
mhm.
want you to talk about this on camera. And so when I
Yeah.
was telling him to, like, I was tapping him on the table, and that's when he was getting upset, because I was telling him like, hey, I don't want you to say too much, because again, that kind of gives her more of a, like, that gives them a chance to manipulate the scene.
Mm.
And
Gotcha.
so, because as if you're upset about something else that you're not really upset about, you're more upset about
Mhm,
this guy attacking you. But like, I know from dealing with these people, I know what they're going to try to make this about. And so what I was telling him, like, yeah, speak your mind, but however, like, I just want you to handle it in a different way, and just play it like, what,
mhm,
not that it's not serious, because it is, but just like, hey, hey, this man, he just jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? Just play it like that. And so I think
mhm,
that we were just having a disagreement. Like, he was just really took it. He was for real in that moment, like he was pissed off. And so, because the production, they came in to do the scene, they just spoke to him, and I don't know what they said. And so when I went upstairs, like, I was just gonna let him go upstairs and let him have his moment, but they were like, well, go upstairs and go talk to him. And so when
mhm,
I went upstairs to go talk to them, of course they were still rolling. I was just telling him like, hey, I understand that you upset, but you gotta, don't give them this, because of course that's what they giving. And so
right.
he couldn't get out of his own head at that moment, because he was upset. And so I felt like he was just having a moment of PTSD, and he
Mhm,
was just like, oh, I'm tired of people putting hands on me and doing this. And I was just like, okay, I understand that, but this ain't where we need to address it.
mhm. So business for him is good now.
Yeah, business has been really good. Business has been great. Like, he still has his practice. He's still at the hospital. He's medical director at Anchor. So he's doing really well. But I think that Gregory was just having a weak moment, and things happen where I can just understand. And like,
Mm,
he did a poor job expressing himself at that moment.
yeah. So now let's get into this text message that Heavenly was trying to say that Dr. G, I guess, sent her or sent Dr. Damon in terms of not wanting to work with him anymore in terms of the patients. Can you explain that? Kind of give us some clarification on that. Where they had a
Um,
falling out, and he was saying, Dr. G was saying he did not say that he did not want to work with him anymore, his patients, that he was overloaded with patients, and Dr.
well,
Damon
yeah.
was trying to say he was lying about that.
Well, yes, Gregory did send a text message after a while, like, before he was overloaded with the patients, and Gregory doesn't have all the resources at his practice to be able to help some of those patients. And so, some of those people need to be maybe in a hospital, inpatient hospital, they need to go in. And
Mm,
so, I think that that's what that was about. But also, after, she made the comment about Gregory, I think that had something to do with it as well. I mean, he has a right to refuse accepting patients. They're not really in business together. And so, he can very well refer those patients to somewhere else. But
mm,
it wasn't like he just dropped patients that he already was dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
right,
He
right.
never do that. But why would he continue with already the issues that were existing, why would he continue care after your wife is ruining your professional relationships and calling him out of his name and defaming him? So it's just like he had every right to go on and be about his business. But like I feel like when Gregory sent the text message, that should have just been it. That just
Mhm.
should have we just should have left it there. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like there's so many other psychiatrists out there that you can refer your patients to. I think that Gregory was at that time doing him a favor, you know.
Right, right. But I always say with this, in that situation too, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, I feel like Heavenly should have stayed out of that because
She definitely should
the
have.
two guys, when there were the two doctors, when they're having their conversations back and forth, disagreement, whatever, I disagree that a woman should step in between that and make it worse than it really is. I feel like they could have fixed that between the two of them. I
Yeah.
feel like Dr. G has a relationship enough with Dr. Damon. They've been on the same show for quite some time. They know each other. So I don't understand why Heavenly feels the need to always jump in everybody's conversations. I mean, that's everybody. We haven't really seen a conversation or a storyline with Heavenly for quite some time. Heavenly's been able to piggyback off of everyone else's issues on the show. And it's so convenient for her to still be. I mean, how is it that she's skating by every season
Yeah, I mean,
without really.
those same things that you have. I have the same questions. Like I have the same questions,
How is
and
she
nobody's
skating
able
by
to
every
answer them.
season and not sharing anything?
I know I have the same questions, and nobody can provide an answer for. So nobody can provide an answer. And if everybody's so afraid to tell her anything and tell her anything, any personal information about them, how is she a friend? But okay, like I just
Uh,
like I be asking about like people get mad at me when I start asking valid questions. Like people get pissed off, and I'm like, I'm just trying to connect the dots and make some sense here. Because if we ain't gonna make sense, can we make change? Like I'm just saying.
Now, what can we look forward to you? Look forward to with you in the near future. Besides what we just talked about? You have your podcast, your YouTube thing going on. What else do you have going on that you haven't shared with us yet? Because I know you're busy.
I know, like working full time and doing all this other stuff. Um, I would say, well, hopefully you'll see me doing a lot more philanthropy around, Atlanta and hopefully outside of Atlanta, actually going on some mission trips and, volunteering some places. So hopefully you'll get to see more of that. And also I have a group that I've been hanging out with. We are all doctors' wives. And
Mm,
so it's a few of us, my friend Gabby, my friend Jen, and Caleb. We've gotten together and started this Doctors Wives Club of Atlanta. And
okay.
so we're going to be doing a lot of philanthropy work together.
Yeah.
We're thinking about coming out with a podcast, but like we're actually all like been brainstorming. We're just brainstorming. Last week we had a quick little business meeting, and we were just chatting about different things that we wanted to do and different goals and how we support each other. Some of the events that we may need to do every month. Just supporting each other's businesses and practices of our husbands. And so, and also, we're gonna be on YouTube. We're gonna be on YouTube doing a little something, something, so you guys can kind of see, the true essence of being a doctor's wife.
Hey, I know that's right. Okay, so we're almost getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna only keep you for an hour. Now, how's your relationship with the rest of the cast? Okay, I know you said you get along good with Simone.
Simone, yes.
Is she the only one that you get
I get
along
along. I
with?
get along really well with Contessa. Me and Contessa, we really have a pretty good bond. I went out to eat with her probably about 2 weeks ago. We went out to go eat. She invited me out somewhere, and I think she's really like a big sister, especially with her military background, and also like she's dealt with government work and all that. So I think we really get each other, and
Y'all have something in common.
yeah, we have a lot in common. And then she's a Gemini, I'm a Gemini, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I love hanging out with Contessa. And honestly, I don't really talk to the rest of the cast. Like I don't really have any dealings with Jackie, of course. I don't really talk to Toya, especially after the way she acted. It's just really no point. You know what I'm
That's so
saying?
crazy because when you first came on the show, people were like, Sweet Tea and Toya kind of favor each other. So I was like,
Yes.
maybe they might have like a little bond or something. I don't know. But then when I started see, I don't know, maybe it's because Toya maybe felt like you were going to maybe take the spotlight or something. Because usually when you have a newbie, a lot of times they'll kind of size you up, and then if you kind of look like you're giving a little bit more, or people kind of gravitating more towards you or like you more, they might
Yeah.
start becoming the mean girl and start tearing you down. Because I've noticed this season, she's like, oh, you're young, you're the baby, like she's trying to downgrade you like you're a child. But
Yeah.
I'm like,
But the way she goes about herself is very childish and immature. And so it's just like she's trying her best to do that, but it's not working because it only makes her look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't help that a bitch should fly. I can't help that I got my own mind and that I speak my own mind and I stand up for myself. Like, I think that she's used to when people come on the show, she wants them to become her minion. And so that's not something that I'm willing to do. So it's like, you can play that with anybody else, but I'm not one of those kind of people. And so I think that that's what she was more so upset about because she's the type of person that whenever someone comes on, she definitely is trying to tell you what to do and all that. And so even in the first season, I'm like, me and her had our moments. Like, okay,
mm.
I don't give, like, to me,
There you go.
F all that TV shit.
There you
Like,
go. There
I
you go.
don't play all that. I don't care how long you've been on the show because it don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's just like, when you speak to someone, you got to speak respectfully. You got to talk to them nice.
Mm.
But it's just like, eventually, like we kept a working relationship. We tried to be positive, and there's a lot of things that I did like about her, especially dealing with the kids. I love the love that she had for her boys.
Yeah.
Um,
She
I
appears to
did.
be a good mom.
Yes, I will say that.
Okay, so we have a few questions before we get out of here that we're going to let the panel, well, not the panel, but the people in the comments, they have a few questions, so we're going to just breeze through a few and then we're going to get out of here. Miss Sylvia Rose, she asked, would you guys consider adopting? I know you said you would rather carry yourself, but I'm going to still let you answer that.
Gregory, I have considered it. Gregory's mentioned it to me, and because he's like, "Babe, why don't we adopt, and then we'll just keep trying." And I was just like, I don't know. Mentally, I'm just not ready for that because it was just maybe 2 years ago. I had endometriosis. I just had the surgery, um, over a year ago. So I'm like, my mindset's not there yet. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just more thinking. I think that I can carry my own baby. So I'm not opposed to it, but if push come to shove later on and that's my last option, I would do that.
Okay, let's see. Do we have any more? All right, so somebody was asking some about next season. We're not going to go there because I don't think she wants to answer that. Was there something that you wanted to share with us about next season that we might not know that you can share?
I there's nothing I can share right now because I don't know anything about what's going on the next season. I don't think anybody knows yet.
Okay. Okay. I was going to ask too, what are they going to be having any new people coming on this? But you don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, they won't. And then even if I did, they won't even tell you. Like like with
The,
Mimi being my friend, I didn't even know. I didn't know she was gonna even be my friend.
okay.
It's like,
So Cyber Groupie says she's asking, how is the relationship with Mimi and her husband? Did you get along with Mimi?
I felt like I got along with Mimi for the most part. We don't really talk like that. Yeah, we don't really talk like that. Like, she was introduced on the show as my friend, but that was not organic. That was put together behind the scenes. And
Mm-hmm.
so I even felt like even the cast members knew that she was going to be a friend of mine before I knew it. So
Right.
it's just like, it wasn't organic. So we don't really get to chat. But I've talked
TV
a little bit
friend.
about psychiatry, stuff like that. I've talked to her a little bit about that kind of stuff.
Okay, kind of like a TV friend, like a space filler on the show, kind of sort
Right.
of. Okay. Lies More Lies says that did you get a contract for next season?
Um, no, I have not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But that's not to say that you won't, because sometimes they waiting out. Sometimes,
Yeah, they
Um,
worked it out.
they'll wait it out. So yeah, that's how that works. Let's see. I think we talked about that one already. Keep Shining says, why not ask your twin to be the surrogate? Yeah, we talked about it. They said, are you guys identical? They're asking, are you and your twin identical?
We are fraternal. We're actually fraternal twins. Kanisha is older. She's 26 minutes older than me. And so my mom always felt like, do we look identical? And she said that she's like, maybe y'all should get tested. Maybe they did something wrong because we do look identical, but we're
You
fraternal.
do. You do. You really do. When I saw her at the what was it, the shower on the
Yes.
show when she was sitting, I was like, y'all really do look like identical twins. So yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Oh my God, those genes are strong. All right,
It is.
so Darlene Mungum is asking, do you still feel the need to prove yourself on the show?
I would say that I don't feel like I ever had to. I think that the thing is, I just wanted to come on the show as myself. Um, I think the only thing I would say is like being off the show and being on YouTube. I wanted to show my true character and who I was because you don't always portray you fairly, on the actual show. So, but I was just like, I don't have to prove myself to anybody. I know who I am. I know who I was raised to be, and I know I'm still growing to be an even greater person.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Darlene Mungum is asking, do you feel that you've settled in now as being a wife? Because sometimes it takes a little time. I'm a wife, so I get it.
I think that I have, I think that I played a role pretty well. Like, I mean, I hit the ground running being a wife. Me and Gregory, we lived together for a couple of months and then he ended up proposing. I felt like, hell, I felt I was a wife then, but I wasn't doing everything now because you can't get everything for
Not
free.
everything.
You can't do it. I can't do everything. So I was
Mm-mm.
like, oh, so I'm not about to sit up here and play house with you.
Because
I'm
then they
not
get comfortable, and then the ring, you be like, damn, 10 years. I need to get
Right. So, and then we lived together for like maybe 6 months and then we got engaged and then we got married within 6 months. So I feel like I tapped into the role because I got more involved with the practice. I'm pretty much the one that books all the trips and stuff like that. He just show up. He just show up.
I love it. I love it. I can see. I follow you guys. I'll be like, oh, I saw you guys in the car when he was playing the music. He's here with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. We was,
You were
we
with
just
your glasses on, and you were here. I said, look at them.
Yeah, we like to go
Y'all
out.
be
When we
funny.
have our date nights, like I like to dance. He like to dance too. So when we have our date nights, we like to get it and have fun. Like, we just honestly we like any other couple
Yeah,
that, that will
but
we
it's
just
good that
enjoy
you
each other.
guys. But it's good you guys have something in common. With him being older, you being younger, it's like you guys still come together and y'all mesh. It's like a
Yeah,
hand in glove. So a lot of things he like, I can just kind of tell you like it. You like it as well. So y'all just kind of it just works.
it
So
does.
it just works. I love it. I love it. So Shirley Woodward says, would you and Dr. G consider doing your own show?
Yes, we would. I mean, that's why kind of what I have my YouTube for. We just got back from our vacation in Mexico. And so I went to Tulum for our anniversary, and it was his birthday on the 21st of April. Happy birthday,
Yes.
baby.
Yes.
So we did a lot of filming, like just filming our day to day, like just talking, what we doing, having fun, walking the streets of Tulum, and getting something to eat, just fun stuff. Because sometimes Gregory be saying Gregory's a really funny guy. Like some of the stuff that he be saying, I'll be looking at him like, what? We joke around a lot, and so
The infamous song now. The infamous song.
the song, Lord
Oh my
Jesus,
God. At the reunion when they had him perform. I said, is he really gonna do it?
he
I was
did.
like
I
telling
think
them,
that he
oh
wanted to
no,
just
is he
be
really gonna
funny.
do it?
He was really about to do it. So I was like, I told him, I think that he just wanted to, because it was such a hard season, he really just wanted to like a comedic relief.
Yeah, like the break the ice. I get it.
Yeah, because it was just rough. And it's just like, I told him like he didn't have to do that, but he just felt like, like it's just been too hard. Like let's try to have fun.
It
And
was
so it
damn
was just
funny.
supposed to
I ain't
be a
even gonna lie.
joke.
It was funny. I laughed
Yeah, because he
a
had a
long time.
t-shirt of me, access to the money.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Okay, let's get to the next question. Okay, question. Says that what other reality shows do you watch and enjoy, and what are your thoughts on the Bravo shows?
The only reality shows I like to watch are like on Netflix. What is it called? I did like that later. I think it was like the Later Daters. That was
Okay,
really good.
okay.
I enjoyed. What is it? The one when they're in the
Mhm.
pods. I like that. Love Island. I like that
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
So, and some of the Bravo shows, I don't watch a lot of Bravo shows. I've been trying to tune in the Real Housewives of Atlanta a little bit here and there, and so
Do you hang with any of those girls?
I don't, I wouldn't. Of course, like I met some of them through Phaedra. Like I've hung with Phaedra, but I don't really hang out with those girls. I don't really know them that well. Drew is really nice to me. Anytime we see each other, we speak. I think she's very nice. Cynthia's really nice. Um, and I've been doing a little texting with Mia from Potomac. I've
Okay.
been texting her, just chatting. She just moved to Atlanta, so we're gonna get together for
Oh
coffee.
Lord, you know what that's about. Mia trying to
I
get on
ain't
the
gonna
show.
get into all her stuff, but you
Mia's
know,
trying to get on that show. That's what Mia.
but she's very. I think that she's supportive of me. You know, she checks in, makes sure I'm doing good. Monica from Salt Lake City, she's messaged me, been like, "Girl, you doing the damn thing. I'm proud of you," because I met her at BravoCon. So, like, you know, I took a look a little bit of Salt Lake City when she was on there.
Cool. So that's good. You kind of getting out there and networking and meeting some new people. That's cool. I love it.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see. Any more questions? You guys have any more questions? We're getting down. We got 5 more minutes. Let's get one more good question in, and then we're going to let you go because I know you've been working, child. You ready to get off and get on your man? Go cuddle.
Shit,
Yes.
I'm gonna pick something to
Now let
eat.
y'all go so y'all can go make these babies now.
Yeah, we got a lot. We've been doing a lot of that in Mexico.
Yes, honey. I know that's right. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Let's see. Okay, so she's asking, Sweet Essence is asking, have you met Mariah and her husband? I think you said you did speak to them. Have you
Yes,
hung
I
out with them,
did.
Aiden?
We haven't really hung out with them, but like I met Mariah and Aiden a while back whenever she invited me to her podcast show with Buffy. And so I did get
You
the
like
chance to
Buffy?
meet Aiden. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. I love Buffy. Buffy's super
Buffy
sweet.
is cool. I love
She
Buffy.
really, yeah, she's super sweet. She, you know, she's also she's married to a psychiatrist. So
Mhm.
like, you know, me and her we really have a deep connection in that. Like we talk a lot about, you know, business and stuff. She gives me a lot of advice
She's
and
very smart. I love
yeah,
Buffy.
she is very smart and she's always willing to, you know, support me, you know.
Mhm.
Anytime something going on, she check in like, "Hey baby, you good? I just want to make sure
That's
you
a
good."
good
And
look.
I like that about her.
Yeah, because she could tell you a whole lot about being on the show because she was on there and she was kind of getting treated like you were when she was on the show.
Yeah. So
So,
then, you know, and that's why I think that's why we connected too, you know, because like she saw what was going on. She was like, I know what that is.
yep. Yep.
Looks very familiar.
And I like Buffy. I was like, why they doing Buffy? Especially Jackie. I was like, Jackie, why you acting like that with Buffy? But okay, ma'am. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. We 6:56. That's close enough to 7, child. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and interviewing with me. Okay. Anytime you want to come back, you are more than welcome. But we appreciate you coming over. This is a great interview. Thank you for answering all the questions that we had. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. And still
I
got another
know.
video to do after this.
Oh
But I'm
Lord.
definitely going to still be following you and definitely love you on the show Married to Medicine. Hope to see you next season. If you decide not to come back, I will still be following you. Tell Dr. G we said hello.
Okay,
Okay.
I will
We
do.
said hello. And again, congratulations to you guys on your marriage.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on trying for the baby. Please let us know if that's a baby. So that we can be like,
Yes,
oh my
I'll
God,
let you
girl, let me tell you,
know.
Sweet Tea is getting ready to have our baby, girl.
I know. I
Okay.
can't wait. Oh my God,
Hopefully
that's
it's
something that I
twins.
want to do. Oh Lord.
Hopefully it's
But you know
twins.
what?
If
Honestly,
he's
if
a
it's
twin, you're
twins,
a
I can get it
twin.
around. I can get it over with.
So would you be open for twins?
I would be open. You know, I think that I want to have at least two, but you know, honestly, I wouldn't mind it. But just if it was a boy and a girl, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm just hopeful and wishful that God will bless me with a baby, and I'm gonna take whatever He's gonna give me.
Amen. We praying for you, girl. I'm praying hard for you too, because I want to see it, honey. Yes. And you're a twin, so it might happen, okay? Right?
It might.
Love you. You got a lot of support here in my chat too. We got a lot of people in here who's riding for Sweet Tea. They love you down.
Thank
And
you,
yeah,
love.
yes, honey, they love you. They say, oh Lord, somebody said triplets. Okay,
Oh
let's
Lord.
put my hand your way, child, like they say in church.
Right, because yeah, I don't know about the triplets, but they told me at the place I'm going to at Emory, they said they wouldn't take the one embryo for me because they said they didn't want to do that because they said the eggs it can split, and so I was like, you know, y'all ain't gonna put two in there. If I asked you, they said no. They said
Wow.
because they said that it can split two times if they put two. Like, you know, and then you end up having 4.
Girl, you don't want to be Octomom out here. You remember
Oh
Octomom?
no, baby, I can't. Yeah. Oh Lord, I don't know how she was doing that.
Child, no. Okay. But again, thank you so much, Sweet Tea. All right. Thank you for gracing my platform with your presence. You have a wonderful day. And again, hopefully this will not be the last time we see you. All right. And again,
All
tell
right.
Dr. we said, hey. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
You take care. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye. All right. Did y'all like that? Oh, not bad, y'all. Did y'all like that? She was great, huh? Sweet Tea. Thank you so much, Sweet Tea, for being here. Thank you guys so much to my mods. Child, it's storming out here too. And I got another video to do because we got some more stuff. Great interview. Did y'all enjoy the interview? If you guys enjoyed the interview, please do not forget to hit the like button. Thank you to my mods for coming in. We did have one crazy troll, but I went on the child and timed them out. Belle Wilson, KBR Tyra, and Scorpio Miss, as well as Rose Armstead. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much, Truth TV Podcast. Those are my usual mods. You guys always do an awesome job. My Caramelians for being here. I know we had some new people here as well to see Sweet Tea as well. So thank you guys for coming over as well for the interview. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here now. It's a great interview with Letitia. Yes. Okay. Letitia's the homie. I love her down. All right. So I will see you guys on the next video. Okay, so you a natural. Yeah, I love talking to people. I do public speaking at work, so this is like nothing for me. I get up here trying to talk. All right, I don't meet a stranger. But thank you guys so much for joining. Okay, again, please like the video because this was a great interview. She was very transparent, and that's what we like over here. Okay, like the video, share the video, and tell somebody else to come on over here to the Caramel Rail Show because y'all see how we get down over here. Boy, love you guys down. Let's go.
Feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst I say and turn them to a